4 of us left out of 12. It's hard to believe. But anyway, I'm going to start with my father and my mother. And then when they get to it, they can just go fast. My father was born in Palm Valley, Florida, right there on Palm Valley Road. And they later moved on to Mickler Road, which was not Mickler Road, I guess, way back then. Daddy moved to the city when he was a young man because he was not going to be a farmer and do nothing with cows and horses and none of that mess. And so he moved to Jacksonville. He became a furniture salesman. He became a fireman. And then he went to work for the city hall in the waterworks department. He worked his way up to being in the office at City Hall. We never knew what he did. He never bragged about it. That was our daddy. Our daddy, he went to work every day in a suit, a tie, a starched white shirt. He had on a felt hat in the winter. In the summer, he wore a Panama straw. And he would always say, you can tell a man by the shine on his shoes. Well, look at these shoes. They're all these rubber shoes today. This is casual. No, I mean, but casual is, everything's casual now. But anyway, so my mother was born, my mother's father was from Dutchess County, New York. And he was German Jew. And he came through going with the cavalry. He was in the cavalry for the, no, I don't think it was the Union, it was after that war. But anyway, he was in the army. And he met my grandmother, a girl from Georgia, Hartshill Baptist, him a German Jew. And they got married. And her name was Martha Elizabeth. I'm named after her. I think it's a pretty name. Anyway, so then my grandfather, horse fell on him, and it broke his back. And he lived 11 years with a broken back. There wasn't much but morphine back then to help a broken back. And my grandfather, my grandmother, and my grandfather had 3 children, a son, a daughter, and a son. You see, you get me going. I can't. Okay, I'm trying to concentrate. And so she married, so my mother wound up in St. Mary's home because her mother could not afford to keep her. Back then, it was hard times, and women didn't find many good jobs. Mama said that her mother did go and give Sister Stanislaus every now and then some money from under her oilcloth on the table that she saved and would give to her for Mama. Mama learned how to embroidery, how to do beautiful handwork, tack. She did everything but knit. And then crochet. And Mama had 12 and Daddy had 12 children. But before they had these children, Mama and Daddy, of course, got married in the IC downtown. Mama was 16, my father was 22 years and 5 months older than her. Though he wasn't 32, he was born in 79. And my mom was born in 01.
That's okay.
Okay. And my father was born either 13 or 14 years after Abraham Lincoln was murdered. And it really took me back when I realized that when the Pope was here. And anyway, my father and mother were married in the IC, and when they moved into their house, on the front porch one day, Mama got up and went out the front. This is Mama's words to me. And she said there was a baby in a basket. And so she took the baby in. It was a Jewish baby. It had a note on it saying it was Jewish. She took this baby in, and I don't know how long she had it. Mama doesn't talk a whole lot about things like that. But I can imagine this child was born to a Gentile, and if it was Jewish, there would be nothing to do with that child. that wife. So anyhow, I imagine that's why the Jewish people always took care of their own. And they came, Mama did say, some Jewish family came and got that child. Mama had Buddy in 1918. And I got to tell you about Buddy. He was, I remember from the time I was 4 years old. And Buddy didn't stay home long because he was, when he was about 17 or 18, I think he joined the Navy. But I want to tell you about Buddy. He was one of the sweetest things you ever saw. And I'll get back to that in a minute. He was the neatest boy you ever saw. He would put his pants every night under the mattress. I guess he had a towel there because you knew there was a spring in the mattress. So he'd have a crease in his pants when he got up. When he graduated from high school, he had won an appointment to Annapolis. He didn't want to go to Annapolis. He would rather run around with the girls and get married. So he didn't go to, he turned it down. And so then he went in the Navy. He was on the USS Blue, which was a frigate. And the USS Blue, it was a ship that went near the big ships, and it hunted submarines. And he had his ship left Hawaii the day before it was attacked by the Japanese. I don't know whether that war did it to Buddy. I've never known. But I know one thing. When we heard Buddy's horn, when he was coming down the road, when we heard Buddy's horn going down the road, we would all run out to the gate and run out the fence and go out to meet him. Oh, we were so tickled. And he was so glad to get home. That was on his furloughs. Then Buddy got married to Annie, and then he went out to sea again. I'm telling it all. I'm sorry. Y'all can put in your little bit. Buddy got married to Annie. I'm going to get to me, but I'm the oldest now, and I've got to tell it to come up to me. I am coming up to me. And do I sound like Buddy? I'm coming up to me in a minute.